Back with the Fantasy Archetype reviews, and this time we're doing Blake Solomon's deck. I figured, you know what, we started with the most recent one, so let's go in reverse order until we catch up to Dahlia. And by that I mean, wait until Dahlia gets a new deck profile because Drake scales so specifically that one is outdated. Will I handle that one? Maybe one day if I got literally nothing else to do and I finally ran out of Yu-Gi-Oh content. Maybe. But we got a long time till that happens. Thank you, Dookie. No, I'm kidding. But, well, yeah, no, I am serious. Thank you, Dookie. But, focusing. Blake's deck profile. Let's just get right into it before I have to re-record this 3 fucking times. Go. Welcome back to another deck profile. In part 2 of this triple whammy, we have Blake Solomon. Blake's deck is Stealth, a ritual deck focused around milling and hand destruction. Fun fact, this archetype is intentionally made to be broken for lore reasons that'll come later. Expect that to be explained in episode 6. Okay then. So let's get started. Before he switches decks, might as well get this out of the way. Monsters. Stealth Rogue Tempest Dancer, a level 4 dark attribute fiend monster with 1800 attack and 1200 defense. If you ritual summon exactly one stealth ritual monster with a card effect that requires use of monsters. Is there a ritual spell that doesn't? In the current card game, I don't think so, but in fan-made Yu-Gi-Oh? Probably. Use of monsters. This card can be used as the entire tribute. Which is good because it turns the entire, because I think just about every stealth rogue has this, to make the entire archetype Ritual Raven, if you know that card. It's intentionally made to be broken because it's just like any ritual archetype that has the whole, any ritual archetype that has the whole, you know, this card can be treated as the entire tribute is just great from the get-go. So just having that on, imagine it being every card, and that's just like a built-in effect. It's not even their entire effect, it's just built in. Ugh. Then again, I assume that's the entire thing, so let's just keep reading and go on. When this card is summoned, by any means, you can add one stealth ritual monster or spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So on summon of any kind, add any of your entire archetype to your hand. If this card is tributed by a card effect, your opponent discards one random card from their hand. They will be tributed by a card effect because ritual summoned is treated as tributed most of the time. There might be some cards that aren't, but you know, that's genuinely how the effect works. So yeah, if this thing is used as a stealth ritual, to summon a stealth ritual monster, it can be treated as the entire tribute. If it's used as a tribute for a card effect, which to be fair, you could also use this for like, I don't know, Grinning Grave Virus or any of the virus cards, because that's being tributed by a card effect. Your opponent has to discard one random card from their hand, and on summon this thing searches your entire archetype. Honestly, I'm surprised Blake doesn't run 4. I know he can't because it's illegal, but trust me, if he's fucking good, he would. You'd be stupid not to yourself. Stealth Rogue Midnight Sakurai. I'm just going to assume they're all dark level 4 fiends with what I'm going to call the stealth ritual effect, I guess, for now. Or maybe just the stealth effect, where it's just like, it was, you know, if you ritual summon this card, there's exactly one stealth ritual monster, blah blah blah. It's treated as the entire tribute. So, you know, just if it has that, I'll just call it like the stealth effect or whatever. When this card is summoned, by any means, add one stealth ritual monster card or spell and trap for your deck to your hand. So, okay, it adds either the ritual monster or the ritual spell and trap. Okay, no, I follow that. It just took me a second. Because it's just like, it's either there, it's like, add one stealth ritual monster or spell and trap from your deck to your hand. Any spell and trap? I know what you're trying to say, though. It's like the ritual spell or like a trap that I guess would list the ritual monster. Or I guess just a stealth spell or trap in general. Again, the archetype's made to be broken, so maybe I shouldn't be trying to nerf it. Sorry, instinct. If this card is tributed by a card effect, your opponent sends the top 4 cards of their deck to their graveyard. Mind you, any Yu-Gi-Oh player with Assault knows that milling cards is just giving your opponent basically hand advantage, but the archetype was made to mill you out as soon as now. So, yeah, I don't care how many fucking graveyard effects you have in there. Unless it's Outstanding Doug Maroon, you're not surviving to your draw phase. Or Outstanding Doug Marin, whatever you want to pronounce it as. Which would be really funny if at some point if we get a flashback like Blake in the friggin' underground. Oh, you cheeky fucker. Out trying to out me with Outstanding Doug Marin? Congratulations. The only card you can draw now is a level 1 monster with 100 attack and defense. I feel so outed. You know, even if I can't deck you out, I can still make your life points 0. Anyway, but yeah. Let's get the stealth effect, and it mills 4 cards, which is the entire point of the archetype, and on to I can add a frickin' ritual monster or spell trap predictor. Yeah, you run free, no duh. It's got 1800 attack and 1100 defense. I don't know if I said that, so yeah, it's a good beat stick too. It's got acceptable stats for a level 4. Stealth Dragon Flaming Claw. Oh, it's a dragon type on top of the usual 4 darkers. Got 1700 attack and 1200 defense. It's got the stealth effect. If this card is summoned, you can add 1 stealth monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect with Stealth Dragon Flaming Claw once per turn. I like how he was the one who had to get the freaking hard once per turn. And like, everyone else just go around being like, yeah, I can just freaking set any monster, spell, or trap you want. But not this guy. He can only search a monster, and it has to be a hard once per turn. I guess he was one of the earlier cards made, you know? Because just like, okay, let's try to focus on balance. Nah, the archetype's made broken. Or maybe he had competent card design for about 5 minutes and then threw it out the window. I can't know the story. If this card is triggered by a card effect, you can add 1 stealth spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Then your opponent sends the top 3 cards of their deck to the graveyard. Okay, so that's why it has the hard ones per turn, the kind of lamer effect than they summon. Because his ritual effect is the better one. Seriously, no, search a stealth spell and trap from your deck to your hand and your opponent mill free. Yeah, I'll take that, thank you. Look, I'm not gonna explain to you why you play these fucking cards. They're intentionally made to be broken. If anything, I need to give you reasons to not play these cards. In which case, it's called common courtesy. But again, common sense isn't that common anymore, so why would courtesy? Stealth Beast, Night Wolf. So we have beasts now. This thing's a Beast Warrior, Darker level 4, 1900 attack, 1300 defense. Did I say the last guy's stats? I think so. If I didn't, you could probably read them. It's got the stealth effect. If this card is summoned, add 1 stealth spell or trap from your deck to your hand. It's got the hard ones per turn clause. Sorry, that's just funny to me. Which means you're going to have the better effect. If this card is triggered by a card effect, you can add 1 stealth ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Then opponent sends top 3 cards from the deck to the graveyard. Okay, so this guy's like the opposite of the dragon. The dragon searches a freaking stealth spell or trap. This guy searches any ritual monster, and they both send the top 3 cards of the deck to the graveyard. And they have the hard ones per turn. I see they're supposed to work in tandem, I get that. Makes sense. There's no reason to not run this guy. Pretty good at this quickly. Stealth Spirit Talker. Redundant much? Then again, that's some actual Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so fair enough. Then again, in real life, Sahara Desert. I'm pretty sure Sahara is some foreign language for desert, so we named it the Desert. I never stopped using that as my favorite example. Level 4 Dark Zombie with 100 attack, but 2100 defense. So she's got no chest, but she's got a fat ass. It's got the stealth effect. If this card is normal summoned, switch it to defense position. It's the lamest so far. Your opponent can activate cards or effects in response to the activation of stealth spell cards. Okay, that's pretty good considering you don't want to interrupt on your ritual summon. Stealth ritual monster you control cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects. If this card is triggered by a card effect, you can special summon 1 stealth monster from your chi, then your opponent discards 1 card from their hand equal to the number of stealth ritual monsters you control. Jesus. You can't control 6 on the field because A, this thing takes up a board space, and B, rituals don't go to the extra monster zone, duh. But you could get up to 4 cards discarded. If you do that early game by hand, not to mention some of the other ones have hand discarding effects, so you could go through your entire opening hand. To explain this archetype best, imagine if Forceful Sentry was an archetype. I don't know if it's to that extent, but do you remember when Infernal Knights were meta with Smoke Grenade of the Thief? Yeah, that. One of these they're gonna make Smoke Grenade of the Thief an Infernoble card when they bring it back. But yeah, it's got lots of protection, and for your other guys, it's got a nice ass, and it may not be. You may not run 3 of this. I don't know about that, but 1 or 2 couldn't hurt. And it's mostly the fact that it's kind of the entire tribute, but that's the entire archetype, so at that point you're just splitting hairs. As I mentioned, though, discarding into the hand's good too. And something from the graveyard. Got a lot of positives, is what I'm trying to say. Stealth Beast, Sword Fetcher. I'm just thinking the fucking robot dog from Revengeance, but again, it's because of the Revengeance means. It's a level 3 Dark Beast with 1600 attack and 1100 defense. It's got the stealth effect. If this card is summoned, you can add 1 stealth card from your GY to your hand. You can only use the effect of Stealth Beast Sword Fetcher once per turn. Okay. If this card is triggered by a card effect, your opponent discards 1 random card from their hand. Well, he's got the most simple and straightforward of effects. Add a stealth card from the graveyard to your hand, and you can make your opponent discard 1 random card. Don't know if I'd run 3 of this thing, because it's a level 3, but then again, it's being treated as the entire tribute, so who cares at that point? Do levels even matter if it's all the levels you need? Case-by-case basis. But anyway, it's become my catchphrase lately. But yeah, it's kind of lame compared to the others, but okay. It's got good stats for level 3. Pretty decent, at least. First Ritual. This thing is like the main face of the archetype. It's a level 8. It is 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah. Level 8, Dark Dragon Ritual effect with 2400 attack, 2750 attack, defense. Stealth Shogun. Void Dragon! You can ritual summon this card with Stealth Art of Summoning. If this card is ritual summoned, special summon up to 2 Stealth Shogun Void Dragons from your hand, deck, or graveyard, and it ignores the summoning condition for the record. It's not on the card, but I know it does. You can return this card from your field to the hand, and if you do, your opponent has the top 5 cards of their deck to the GY. This card gains 100 attack and defense for each card in your opponent's GY. So yeah, 2750 defense just seems like something to freaking piss off people with OCD. Not gonna lie. I've never seen this thing in defense mode. With this, because I'm just gonna go for the kill at that point. Yeah, this entire archetype is focused on you setting your hand and deck to the graveyard, and this thing gets 100 attack for each of them. Not to mention it can summon 2 more copies of itself from the deck, and it returns itself to the hand so that it can go through melee. Yeah, again, this archetype is made to be broken. It fucking shows. Do I need to? I have to give you reasons to not play that. And again, all I can come up with is it's mean. That's not really a good enough reason. To some people, at least. Stealth Shogun, Dark Tornado. It's a level 5 Dark Dragon Ritual Effect monster with 2400 attack, 2000 defense. He only runs 2. You can ritual summon this card with Stealth Art of Summoning. You can return this card to your hand, and if you do, your opponent sends the top 5 cards of the deck to the graveyard. Okay, so it's got the end of the Dragon's effect on its first effect. Okay. Negate the effects of face-up monsters on the field that were supposed to summon from the extra deck. Just as a floodgate effect? Dang, that's pretty good. If this card was triggered by a card effect, you could send the top 4. Your opponent sends the top 4 cards of their deck to the GUI. Well, given how everything in this archetype treats itself as the entire tribute, I don't think you're going to be seeing it much unless it's summoning itself. Sure, and it doesn't have the whole count as the entire tribute effect, so it's not going to happen there. Still, I guess it's okay if you can't get the Void Dragon out. It's not bad because you gotta trigger all your other effects. And you know what? Just blank it on summon it. No extra deck effects. Not bad. 2400 active boost on it. It's good. It's good enough. It's alright. It's not being over any 16 negates, but it might get through something. Actually, that reminds me. One thing that would fuck over Blake's entire archetype. Nibiru. Good thing that doesn't exist in the evolution dimension, or like the Unleashed universe. Eh? Moving on. Stealth Shogun. Howling Star! I don't know why I'm pronouncing it like this, but I feel like it's sue me. Level 5 Dark Beast Warrior Ritual Effect Monster with 2200 attack, 1600 defense. You can ritual summon this card with Stealth Art of Summoning. You can return this card from your field to their hand. If you do, your opponent doesn't draw it during their next draw phase. So that's different. And it's pretty powerful. Yada was fucking on the ban list for years, along with Time Seal. They aren't anymore, but they were on the list for years for this exact effect. Oh yeah, it was for a lock, and the trap card was... because Konami is stupid and bitches. But that's beside the point. At the start of the damage step, if a stealth monster you control battles an opponent's base-up monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, destroy that monster and points at the top 2 cards of their deck to the GY. If this card was triggered by a card effect, destroy all set, spell, and traps your cards your opponent controls. This thing is like Dogmatica for the Unleashed universe, because again, Dogmatica don't exist in the Unleashed universe because timelines. But yeah, this thing's pretty dang good. Just like the ability to just be like, okay, the last guy negated all your effects, and I'm gonna go around making sure that you die. Just nice. And it makes, and then you not only do die, you then mill for it. And if I go to the graveyard, I get to destroy all of your set spells and traps. And they're all Dark Coffin. Fuck! Or like some card that hopes to be destroyed face down. What's that fucking dragon, the thing with the snake in the grass and the goblin guy being petrified of it? Waking the dragon. Summons 3 dragoons. Fuck! I know their effects are negated if the other guys in the field, but it's just funny to think that you ritual summoned the guy and this and that. Fuck. It wouldn't exist in Unleashed, but it would be fucking funny, okay? That's a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Shit post. He summons this thing, blows up the field, and then the dragon comes out. Damn it! You show the fucking TMNT where Raphael screws the heavens. Damn! Anyway, Stealth Shogun Firebird Spirit, a level 4 Dark Zombie Ritual Effect monster with big tits. Up 2,000 attack and no defense. She's got a nice ass at least, but she has no ass at the same time. You can ritual summon this card with Stealth Art of Summoning. Should I even keep reading that? Fuck it, I've already started my stuff. The moment I say I'm gonna just give it a clause, that's the last fucking ritual monster. You can return this card from your field to your hand. If you do, your opponent sends cards from the top of their deck to the GY, equal to half the number of cards that were sent to the decks to the GY during this turn, rounded up. Is that enough fucking words for you? Okay, so let's say you return the Void Drug into the hand and you milled 5 cards. That's the only amount you discard. You milled. So this thing also bounces out of the hand, and you mill half of that. Half of that is 2.5, but we round up so you mill 3 extra cards on top. That's just how that works. It's to me. That way Blake is never in this situation with fucking Siegfried and you or fucking... And I had to send half my deck to the graveyard, but I only have 1 card left. And since I can't send a card to the graveyard, the effect of your monster's maintenance cost destroys itself. It's a badass moment, but then you realize, you know, you could have had any number of odd cards and it would have been fucked. But 1 made it cooler. And proved a point to be like, try to explain to me how you have 1. Well, anyway, yeah. Whenever your opponent discards a card from their hand to the graveyard, which is going to happen a lot, inflict any damage to your opponent, per card or just in general. I imagine per card, in which case, oh, since some of them can snipe, 2 or 4 cards, that's going to be a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. If this card is distributed by a card effect, you can add 1 stealth card from your graveyard to your hand, except Stealth Shogun Firebird Spirit. Yeah, it's pretty dang good. It does some burn effect, which is nice. It can do some extra milling, and it lets you search a card attributed. Yeah, I'd only run 2 as well, but, you know, with all the discarding you're doing and having this in the field as well, not bad. Any monster's effects of being encountered as the entire attribute only matters to level 3, considering it's the only one that's going to need the extra boost. Stealth Shogun Gale Sword Draco. It's a level 8. Just making sure I count it right. Yeah, level 8 Dark Dragon Ritual Effect Monster with 2000 attack and 1700 defense. You can ritual summon this card with Stealth Art of Summoning. You can return this card from your field to your hand. If you do, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Then they send cards from the top of their deck to their GY for each of them. This card is inflicts piercing damage. I'm so glad it is inflicts piercing damage. I'd hate for it to be anything else. Typo. You can, if this card is shielded by a card, you can add 1 stealth card from your deck to your hand. Just any of it, okay? This thing is freaking powerful. Just like you can return this thing in the hand, nuke your opponent's board, and make them mill. It does piercing damage. I'm sorry, it is piercing damage. And on tribute, you can add any stealth card from deck to your hand. Do I need to freaking explain why you play this? No, didn't think so. Go on and on. But you got 2 with spare. When you got the Void Dragon, you don't need much else. That's just extra. Stealth Shogun, Winged Moon. You know, I should have thought a ritual archetype would have more rituals. It's a level 6 Dark Winged Beast ritual effect monster with 2700 attack and 1200 defense. I hope there's a link in it soon so I can stop reading defense. No links in Unleashed? Fuck. You can ritual summon this card with Stealth Art of Summoning. You can return this You can return this card from your field to your hand. Quick effect. Quick effect. It's on a quick effect. That hasn't happened with any of the other ones. If you do, your opponent cannot activate card artifacts from their GY this turn. Very handy. As long as this card is spaced up on the field, whenever your opponent summons a monster, they send the top 2 cards of their deck to the GY. If this card is triggered by a card effect, banish all cards in your opponent's GY. That could be detrimental to the fucking Void Dragon, but otherwise it's like, the only thing that's more powerful than that is banish it face down. So yeah, this thing's pretty decent. Just on the quick effect of giving yourself protection, making it so your opponent can't use graveyard effects on Quickie, and they have to mill cards whenever they special summon and banishes shit. It's just like, this thing is good at 1. It's worthy of having it 1, but yeah, just like Blake, I wouldn't go any higher. It's good against that 1 deck and kind of a brick every other time. Not terrible though. Spells. Stealth Temple. It's a field spell card. If this card is activated, add 1 stealth monster and 1 stealth spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Union Carrier is OP because it lets you add 1 Union monster from your deck to your hand. What the fuck would they do if it did this too? I know there's not really a Union spell and trap, but there are cards that list Union monsters. Here's by text, so I guess that's how you would do it. But just like, imagine Konami's like that. We're gonna get to that point at one point in Yu-Gi-Oh, but we aren't there quite yet. I can see it over the horizon, but it's not there. Anyway, whenever a stealth ritual monster near the field is returned to the hand, you would activate this effect. During your end phase, add 1 stealth card from your GY to your hand. Oh yeah, so you know how you just return them out of your hand for these beneficial effects? Yeah, you can also search from the add a stealth card from graveyard to hand on top of that. Do I even... If terraforming and metaverse weren't already limited Unleashed, they are now even more so. Ugh. I don't need to explain. The most shocking thing in this, he only runs 2. The Archetype is made to be broken, but you gotta have it somewhat balanced just for the fact that this is a Yu-Gi-Oh series, and Blake has to lose at some point. Stealth Art of Summoning is a continuous ritual spell. It doesn't say ritual spell, but I know it fucking is because all the fucking rituals have mentioned this thing. When this card is activated, add 1 stealth monster from your deck to your hand with a different name than the cards you control. What a high maintenance cost. During your main phase, you can ritual summon 1 stealth ritual monster from your hand by attributing monsters from your hand or field whose total level is equal or exceed its level. They can all be the exact level requirement. So does the exceed really necessary? Well, I guess we have an extract monster in the field that isn't a fucking stealth monster, just to play safe. I can get it. This thing is a continuous ritual spell that lets you add a fucking stealth monster from your deck to your hand as long as it's a different name. Do I need 3? Duh. No more need to be said. Of course, you can only activate and stealth Art of Summoning per turn. Confiscation, pay 1,000 life points, look at your opponent's hand, select 1 card and discard it. Like he needs that. Bonus, I guess. I think when duo would be less shocking. Monster Reborn, target 1 monster in another player's graveyard, special summon it. Stealth Art of Smoke Vanishing, continuous spell. Whenever you return a stealth ritual monster from your field to your hand, you can banish 1 card in your opponent's hand from play until their next standby phase. You can destroy this face-up card you control. Quick effect, all stealth monsters you control cannot be destroyed or banished by battle card effects this turn. That's an extra level of protection that you don't see much. This card, you see a lot of, this card cannot be destroyed by X. They don't see a lot of, this card cannot be banished by X. Not saying they don't exist, just saying it's rare. And the whole thing where it has a bonus effect if you add a virtual monster from your field to your hand is neat. It's only temporary though, so it's going to cut them over for a bit, but it's not going to completely screw over their game plan. Honestly, the field spell being the search is probably more valuable. But yeah, I'd run one though, just because, you know, it's going to be good in that one scenario. Necromancy Ritual. It's an actual ritual spell. Pay 1,000 life points to activate this card. This card can be used to ritual summon any one ritual monster from the GY. You must also send monsters from your hand or field to the GY whose level equal the level of that ritual monster. So it's a ritual summon that uses the graveyard. Don't need to explain much into it. I'd play this card in real life if it existed with my ritual decks. Because ritual summon from the graveyard is just a good effect. I don't need really to explain why. Vendreds can do it even. Traps. Archetype version. Continuous trap. It only lands one. If your opponent activates a monster spell or trap effect, you can return one stealth monster from your field to your hand. If you do, negate that effect and destroy that card. It's present like counter trap, but being continuous makes it more powerful. Yeah, I'd only run one of these two. It's not bad, it's just not worth 3 of. You don't want to keep your ritual monsters in the field to your hand to do other stuff. Return them to the hand to do other stuff. Stealth Art of Binding Chains. Continuous trap. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect, target one stealth ritual monster you control. Return to the hand. If you do, negate the activate effect. Then you can special summon one stealth non-ritual monster from your hand or deck. So you got a fucking ritual on field. Your opponent tries to activate a monster or card effect. You return that ritual monster to your hand, and then you get the special, and then the effect is negated and destroyed. No, sorry, not destroyed, just negate in general. And you can summon a non-stealth ritual monster from your hand or deck. Yeah, I don't know about playing one, but I'd play at least 2. Or at most 2, I should say, because it's pretty fucking good. And you can only control one face Stealth Art of Binding Chains. Stealth Art of Violent Ambushing. Damn, this art is nice. I don't know what it is about the polar bear with the Wolverine claws, but just makes it more epic. I guess because it's a bear. Enjoy your Coca-Cola at this time of year. They took us Coca-Cola. Finally, the polar bear Coca-Cola I've been waiting for. Anyway, if your opponent declares a direct attack, you can special summon one stealth ritual monster from your hand as a new attack target. Then after the battle, if that monster you summon is not destroyed, return it to your hand. You can only activate one effective Stealth Art of Violent Ambushing once per turn. Sorry, you can only use this effect. Fair enough. With the return to the hand effect, if so, then we use multiples, we'll only come back. No. So yeah, your opponent declares direct attack, you can special summon the ritual, and then have it take the attack. Nice. I don't really need to explain why, because, you know, even though it's search the hand, here's a way to get them on the field faster. Skull Invitation. Each time a card is sent from the field to the grave, every time a card or cards are sent to the graveyard, put 300 damage to the owner for each card sent. Punch in the box. When the opponent declares an attack while they control 2 or more monsters, target the attacking monster, negate the attack. If you do, send one other monster they control in the graveyard. The target monster loses attack and defense attack equal to the original attack and defense of the other monsters. Mirror Force, nuke the field. Basically, you know what Mirror Force does. Bombus Trapple. When your opponent summons a monster with 1500 or more attack, destroy that monster with 1500 or more attack, and if you do, banish it. Really powerful back in the days. Now it's like kind of mid at best. Like Horn of Heaven, counter trap. When your opponent would special summon exactly one monster, negate the special summon. If you do, destroy it. It's a pretty good rogue card, honestly. It's cheap too, I think. Solemn Judgment. God said no. It's No Nuts November. Mirror Wall. Continuous trap. Each time your opponent Each of your opponent's monsters that is connected by a wall this card is placed on the field, it has its attack halved, as long as the card remains placed on the field during the 7 hits, pay 2,000 life points. Breakthrough skill, just negate an effect on the field, and then it banishes during your turn. It's a pretty good budget card. Extra deck, but I had one, honestly. Oh. Shin Stealth Shogun, Void Dragon Apocalypse. A rank 8 Dark Dragon Xyz monster with 3,500 attack and defense. Looks cool. Takes 3 level 8 Dark Dragon Ritual. I'm not sorry. 3 level 8 Dark Ritual monsters specifically. So you can use this with the fucking Void Dragon and the other one. This card is the only monster that is allowed to attack during your battle phase. This card gains 500 attack for each card in your opponent's GY. You can detach one material from this card. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each this turn. Then, if this card destroys your opponent's monster by battle, you send the top of half of your opponent's deck to the GY. Or if I have half a deck, it doesn't say rounding up. I'm sorry, odd number of cards right deck. There you go. Nice. Yeah, this is why it's a fucking rank 8. Makes it so it's the only one that's allowed to attack. But it's also like, yeah, and I'm the only one who needs to attack because I can attack every monster. And every time I blow something up, you're losing half your deck. Hope you're ready to lose to your mill pretty soon. Because if you got any cards left, you won't for much longer. Great card. I'm surprisingly runs wonders with a 15 card extra deck limit, but whatever. Maybe he can only get his hands on one. Thanks for watching. Except it's Pink Lightning. You already saw Pink Lightning. Blake's deck is very overpowered, and it was made by that intentionally, and soon we're going to be getting it via a new deck for him, so we won't need this oppressive thing anymore. I mean, we're probably going to get an explanation into why it was broken, of course, assuming we didn't get it in episode 5 and I'm forgetting it. But, yeah, the deck is extremely powerful. Obviously, it will be broken immediately, because people mock that Ritual is the worst summoning mechanic, and you can make that claim. 2 times they've been meta. And both the times they were arguably tier 0. So, yeah.